Did you get it?
Yeah.
It will have to be diluted. His fever is getting worse. If this doesn't work, I don't think he'll last long.
You all to be vigilant. These days we have all sorts of vagabonds, drifters, outlaws and bandits roaming the country. And we have one of those vermin here today. A fella called Hans, who is clearly not right in the head. A dangerous madman, a brawler, and a thug, the worst of all, a poacher! And so, for the damages he caused to our dear Lord Otto von Berghoff, he is sentenced to be hanged by the neck until dead!
You can't execute this man. He's a noble. Captain Thomas here will testify that we're messengers from Ratoi.
What is this nonsense, for Christ's sake?
It's true. I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein.
Deal with it, for God's sake!
But sir, the captain!
Captain Thomas has a fever. He's clearly delirious. Seize them immediately.
You can't do this! I am a nobleman, do you hear? A noble! Get your hands off me! You can't do this!
Open the gates!
My lord?
What the hell is going on?
It was just a... It's a hanging.
You can't hang him. He's a noble.
That's for me to judge. Take him down! And for Christ's sake, help me off this horse!
You may enter. His lordship is expecting you.
So, you're messengers from Ratai, huh? I was wondering when someone would turn up. All right, then. Let's hear it.
My respects, Sir Otto. I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein, and this is Henry of Skalitz, my escort.
Welcome to Trotsky, gentlemen. I'd greet you standing up as befits, but I'm glad I can even sit at the moment.
I heard you were ambushed by outlaws.
You heard right. Those bastards did a job on me. And I got out luckier than most. Almost all the others were killed, including my page and my surgeon. So there is no one here to heal me, and I will have to inform poor Albert's father that his son died in my service.
I hope your health will soon be restored, sir.
We shall see. But now, you tell me what happened here in Herrgottsnamen. Why did my chamberlain try to hang you, Lord Capon?
In truth, the welcome we got from your Master Chamberlain was somewhat... how shall I put it?
Your Chamberlain's welcome was appropriate enough, considering our appearance, the situation in your domain, and your orders, sir.
Ah. I appreciate your diplomacy, young man. Master Chamberlain Ulrich can sometimes be more hasty and passionate than is healthy. And we are glad you hold no grudge against him. Are we not, Ulrich?
I regret what happened, gentlemen. Please accept my humblest apologies.
Anyway, let us leave this misunderstanding aside and get to the point. As far as I'm aware, Ratai showed no interest in negotiations before, either with me or with the League of Lords.
True. Our houses have thus far stood on opposite sides.
I should say so. Attacking Brno and Jihlava together with that renegade Sokol of Lemberg hardly inspired our sympathy.
But we can all point the finger. Your League of Lords, on the other hand, abducted the king. Although I don't doubt your reasons, just as Sir Hanush did.
We certainly had. The main one being that your Wenzel is an irresponsible drunkard and idler who is hurting the Empire by his inactivity. But let us leave that aside. Tell me, what does Sir Hanush have on his mind? I am all ears.
Unfortunately, during the ambush, we lost the letter we were carrying, so you'll have to make do with my word of mouth.
All right. Go ahead and speak.
In brief, Sir Hanush, Sir Radzig, and other lords take the view that the situation has got out of control. And that's of no benefit to anyone in Bohemia, neither Wenceslas's supporters or the League of Lords. King Sigismund's actions will not lead to instilling greater order than under King Wenceslas. Quite the contrary.
Let us say that maybe. What arises from it?
Sir Hanush and the other lords on our side are interested in knowing what the stance of the League of Lords is at this moment, and whether they haven't perhaps reevaluated some things.
In other words, whether I might betray Sigismund.
Well, betray is a strong word. We came to you, Sir Otto, because you're the leading voice of the League of Lords. I expect there are also lords among your ranks who are considering how to find a way out of this sticky situation. And for the Kingdom of Bohemia, it would certainly be better if our paths were to join rather than parting.
Your companion speaks like a diplomat, Sir Hans.
We've had plenty of experience of that at home too, sir. Only a short time ago we had to deal with a similar band.
Then you will surely understand that before I begin debating who would be the better king, I must sweep my own doorstep. Only I'm damned if I know how to do that, since those bastards have wiped out half of my garrison, including my captain.
If I may be so bold, sir, you're not the only one. We also have a score to settle with them, so Henry and I will gladly help you.
Is that so? Now that is what I call the words of a knight, Sir Hans.
Right now, we've got a common enemy. So we have common interests, too.
So then, sir, may we be of assistance to you?
Indeed you may. Perhaps in the end we may really find some common ground. I need to muster sufficient reserves to deal with those outlaws once and for all. I'm summoning my vassals here to Trotsky. And since I don't have many men left to send as messengers, I will gladly accept your help.
Just say the word, sir. Where should we go?
You'll go to Nebakov, a small castle, or rather a fortress among the cliffs. The yeoman there, Jaromir Nebak, is an old hardhat and may not be very willing to fulfill his obligations. It would be useful if an eloquent noble like yourself visited him to explain him clearly why I need his whole garrison.
Who is this Lord Nebak?
The lord of a smaller house with not much in the way of estates, just a fortress and lands, but he also owns a mill that provides a significant part of his income. His children are grown up. His daughter married well, thanks to Sir Otto. His son is away from the domain, dealing with duties. Sir Otto helped him to acquire an official position. In short, the House of Nebak is more than beholden to Sir Otto for his magnanimous help and support.
Thank you, Ulrich. Nevertheless, I suspect Jaromir will not be keen to charge into battle. But that is of little consequence. He has a few good men who will be useful. That will do us. If he delivers, I will regard his obligation as fulfilled.
Is that all, sir?
It's no simple task. Knowing Jaromir, if I sent a common messenger, he'd come back with a boot print on his backside. Dealing with the lower nobility can be tricky. They tend to be fixated on their own somewhat fragile status.
What should we do if he's unwilling to heed what we say?
His house has always been loyal to mine. And it has always been more than worth their while. So tell him that I would like it to remain so. I do not expect any great obstacles, but it would be wise to show Sir Jaromir respect by sending him someone of status. He will take his time over being persuaded, and then concur, as he always has done.
I'll get to him somehow, sir.
I expect nothing less from you.
Is the route safe?
As I said, the fortress is in the wilderness amongst the cliffs. There are many places where outlaws may be hiding, so watch out.
Don't worry, sir. I have Henry here by my side for such situations.
We'll take care of it, sir. Count on us.
All right. We'll head out as soon as possible. Let's not delay our diplomatic mission unnecessarily.
Very well. I think that is all for now. The Chamberlain will show you where you can put your heads down, and he will supply you with horses. And once we have resolved this little digression, we shall talk about your own mission.
Thank you, sir.
May I ask something, Sir Otto?
Oh. Ask away, young man.
When you were ambushed, did you see those bandits? Would you recognize any of them?
Henry, don't start with that again.
Why do you ask?
The thing is, when we were ambushed, I believe I saw among them one of the men we ran up against at home.
Oh. What did he look like? Do you know his name?
He's called Istvan Toth, a Hungarian noble. He wears black armor. A stocky fella, around 40.
I've already told you that's nonsense. How would he be here? You only saw him from a distance, from behind. You're imagining it.
And why does this Thoth interest you, young man?
He was the leader of a band that made trouble for us in Sasau. And he has something that belongs to me.
Interesting. Interesting. But I must disappoint you. I saw no one of that description.
Thank you, sir. And sorry. I had to ask.
I understand. And now I shall entrust you to the care of Uri here. And I shall look forward to the good tidings you bring me from Nebakov. Go with God, gentlemen.
Thank you for everything, sir. The Lord be with you.
There will be time enough yet for social niceties. Now there are more practical matters to deal with. Sir Otto has generously agreed to accommodate Lord Capon in one of his chambers. And you, Henry, shall also be accommodated, as befits your station. There, your, equipment shall also be returned to you, and you'll find your horse in the stable. Nevertheless, his lordship takes the view that, as a noble's escort, you should have a befitting mount. And therefore he has kindly decided that you may take one of our horses, if you so wish.
Hold on, Sir Ulrich. If you think everything is settled between us, and we're going to act like nothing happened, then you're mistaken.
Sir?
You were going to have me executed a short while ago. I expect a proper apology.
Then please accept my apology once more, sir. But given the circumstances...
Given the circumstance? What circumstances?
Sir, poaching is a capital offence.
And are you the king? That you can hand down death sentences? No, you are not. What's more, you had plenty of reasons to realise it wasn't a good idea.
Sir, I could not have realised that.
You couldn't have realised? Yes, you could, but then you wouldn't have been able to play the Lord and stage private executions.
Sir, once more I apologise. And now, please allow me to show you to your quarters.
I wouldn't dream of inconveniencing you. I'll find my quarters by myself. Henry, once you're done with that annoying fool, get your horse and we'll meet at the gate.
Well, it seems Lord Capon will not be requiring my services anymore today.
Please excuse him. He's been through a lot, as I'm sure you understand.
It is understandable, of course. I was just hoping that our relationship would be a bit warmer after that, regrettable misunderstanding. Nevertheless, welcome to Trusky, the finest and biggest castle you shall ever see. Rumor has it that the castle was built on the jaws of hell, and that we're sometimes plagued by demons here. But don't believe a word of it. It's just idle talk to excuse the servants' laziness and incompetence. It's demanding enough keeping everything here running smoothly without any of that. It requires a man of exceptional qualities and talents. By the way, this place is a maze for strangers. It's very easy to get lost. The jail cells are down there. But I believe you are already fairly well acquainted with that part of the castle, aren't you?
All too well, thanks.
Here it is. You'll find a bed inside, opposite the door, and a chest where we put your belongings. You'll find some new clothing there, a little gift from our gracious lord, to ensure you're not mistaken for a beggar again. Once you're settled in and properly dressed, stop by the stables. They're beyond the gate, down the path. Ask for Kabat. He was supposed to prepare a horse and tack for you. Or tell him you keep your own if you insist. Then he'll give you proper tack at least, so you don't disgrace us.
Thanks. I'm grateful.
As you should be. So, you and I are finished, and I can finally attend to some proper work, so this castle doesn't fall on our heads.
I'm here for some horse tack. I hear you have something for me.
Well, fuck me blind. You got out of jail yesterday, and today you've got a horse. Fuck, I wouldn't mind having your kind of luck. But you're fucking things up for me and making a mess. And I don't want to get a whipping on your account. I've got the tack ready, but I've been ordered to show you our herring first. You can take him, they said. So kindly take a look at him in the stable here and tell me if you want him or not.
I'll take him.
Good. He ain't the fastest, but he'll work his little heart out, and he'll keep going for fucking ages. And he's a well-behaved, smart animal as well. An honest stock, too. From the Sameen stud farm. Not one of them stolen nags that's seen around these parts. I've heard that wind is blowing from them dodgy nomads.
There are nomads around here.
Aye. I hear their camp is somewhere in the rocks by Rock Tower Pond. They've got horses there. God knows how they came by them.
Well, useful to know. So I can avoid such places.
Well, let's not forget about your horse. He's there in the stables, so go and get him. You do know how to ride, don't you?
Ah, don't worry. I'm right at home with horses. I learned to ride with cumans on my tail, and arrows whistling past my head. A tough school it was.
Well, I'll be damned. I never heard such a thing before. But even an experienced horseman like you needs equipment, as you well know. You can tack him up yourself, right?
Sure. Thanks.
I'm glad you're here. I needed to catch a breath of fresh air. I've had it up to here with that Chamberlain Stauffenberg, or whatever the bastard's name is.
Ah, fuck him. We're here on account of von Bergov. I have a feeling he won't be giving him a pat on the back either for the way he treated us.
I suppose you're right. But I won't be fucking humiliated. A jump-top tosser like that isn't going to get high-handed with the Lord of Perkstein.
I agree. Although, the Lord of Perkstein can also act pretty haughty at times.
Look, I know I behaved like an idiot, but...
happens to the best of us. But you can rely on me. Always. We had a disagreement, that's all. Who doesn't sometimes? You're the closest friend I have left.
Thank you, Henry. I really appreciate it. I'm glad to have you as my page. You know, Hanush assigned you to me as a kind of punishment, but now I wouldn't want anyone else by my side. You have my word as a nobleman.
And you have my word as a blacksmith that I'll stand by you. Even if it isn't always easy going.
Then your word must be as firm as steel. But I take my promises seriously too. And since I made a promise to Bajena, we have to repay our debt.
Don't worry about it. I took care of it on behalf of both of us.
You did? My word, Henry. You are a true Bellator. Only half by birth, but your heart is filled with blue blood.
Thanks, Hans.
How is she getting on, actually? I hope she hasn't had any trouble on account of us.
Not on account of us, no. But... well, it's a complicated story. And not a pleasant one.
Jesus. I'm sorry to hear that. But right now, I'm not in the mood for sad stories. You can tell me another time, but now Nabokov awaits us. It's high time we set out so we can get back before nightfall. Carpe diem.
I'm ready.
Let's mount up then. It's nice to be out under the open sky. I was feeling really cramped in those gloomy corridors up there. But I can't deny, this is a real fucking castle. I've never seen anything like it before. Perkstein is just a little fortress in comparison. Von Bergov certainly knows how to make an impression.
That's true. Von Bergov must be loaded.
I expect the office of the Royal Chamberlain is a nice earner. Or maybe he shits gold ingots. Fuck. This place makes me feel queasy. Memento mori. I could have croaked here and gone off to join my old man in eternity. God rest his soul. And he'd ask me, "So, son, what great deeds have you achieved in life?" And I'd have to tell him, "Well, Pa, I fucked everything up royally, and then they hanged me for poaching." Christ on a stick! I can't have that! When I go to the next life, I need to have something better to tell. A whole lot better.